Tansuiling, and today I will introduce our topic, which is the evaluating the sustainability and resilience of an intermodal transport network leveraging consolidation strategies. Before I start my presentation, please allow me introduce my teammate. First is Chong Jiaxuan, second is Feng Xinyi, third is me, Tan Suiling, fourth is the Wong Ji Cheng, and last is Yue Waiyan. We choose this topic because the global supply chain are facing increasing challenges, such as rising fuel costs, stricter environmental regulation, and frequent disruption like pandemic or the geopolitical conflicts. These issues highlight the importance of designing transport systems that are not only cost efficient but also sustainable and resilient. Intermodal transport, which integrate different modes of transportation, such as road, rail, and sea, that offer the flexibility and the efficiency. When the combined with consolidation strategy, like grouping shipment to optimize the capacity, it can reduce the cost, lower carbon emission, and also improve the reliability. In this study, we focus on how these strategies can strengthen the transport network, making them more adaptable to future uncertainties while supporting the sustainability goals.
I am Feng Jin. Now I would like to talk about a summary of article. First is the research problem. Freight transport play an important role in global emissions and is vulnerable to disruption. Intermodal transport using road, air, and water can help reduce environmental impact and improve efficiency. But consolidations, which combine shipment to set costs and emissions, make the system more complex and prone to delay. These studies focus on finding the balance, which is how can consolidations be applied while keeping the system sustainable and resilient. Then I wanted to talk about the methodology. The research used a two-stage optimization approach. First, the model select actions to prepare the network before disruption occur. Then it identified how to recover during disruption. The model considered multiple factors, which is cost, emissions, congestions, and accidents. Because of its complexity, the others use an advanced technique called Lagrange's relaxations to solve it efficiently. They validated the models using real UK freight network data and realistic disruption event to ensure accuracy and particularity. Then I would like to talk about the main finding. The study findings are impressive. Investing just 0.4% of the total budget in resilience measures can reduce overall cost by nearly 4.7%. Consolidations also deliver huge returns, up to 34 times the initial investment. However, there is a catch. Too much consolidations can make the network more fragile. The most effective strategy is to pair consolidations with smart resilience planning to achieve both efficiency and stability. Next is the interpretations and insight. This result highlight that even modest investment in resilience can produce strong return. While consolidations greatly improve efficiency, it needs to be flexible to avoid added risk. Resilience strategy help reduce vulnerabilities and keep the network stable. Overall, managers should aim for a balance which sustainability, cost control, and risk management must work together to create robust transport system. To conclude, the study showed that consolidations paired with resilience planning improve both cost effectiveness and environmental outcome. It provides actionable tools for managers and policymakers to prioritize investment and plan robust network. Future research could include more data and explore other risks. That's all for me. Thank you.
In this study, the recognition of consolidation benefits is strongly emphasized. Consolidation not only reduces empty trips, but also improves vehicle utilization and lowers overall fuel consumption. It also generates significant sustainability gains by cutting carbon dioxide emissions, noise, and congestion across the transport network. Real-world cases from companies such as Kellogg's, Unilever, and Nestle demonstrate how consolidation has helped achieve both cost savings and environmental improvements. This aligns well with broader research that identify consolidation as a proven logistics strategy to balance efficiency and sustainability. For example, Crotty and Maggie from 2022 shows that urban consolidation centers can effectively reduce carbon dioxide and nitrogen dioxide emissions, while Zoo from 2024 also highlight that order consolidation in multimodal scams not only reduce emissions but also improves efficiency under uncertainty. The study also provides clear numerical evidence of the economic value of resilience and consolidation investments. It shows that by allocating only 0.4% of the total cost to preparedness and recovery measures, overall cost can be reduced by 4.7%. Likewise, even modest investment in consolidation can generate returns up to 34 times higher than the initial cost. This ROI-driven analysis demonstrates that resilience and sustainability can be achieved without placing a heavy financial burden on organizations. It reflects that the principle of small investment, big payoff, which is often highlighted in supply chain resilience research. Supporting this view, Rice, Clippy, and Tripp from 2022 argued that small but strategic investments can overcome financial barriers to building resilient supply chains, while Lam and Yin from 2021 emphasized that integrating cost and risk management enhance resilience by creating a clear cost-benefit balance. The study further strengthens its credibility by using real-world data. The proposed model is tested with UK transport network data covering routes, railways, and waterways. Realistic disruption scenarios such as natural disasters, accidents, and strikes are incorporated, making the analysis practical rather than purely theoretical. By relying on real data, the result gain higher reliability and demonstrate clear applicability for both policymakers and logistic managers. This approach bridges the gap between academic modeling and real-world decision-making, which is often a limitation in transport studies. For instance, Hassani's Gordazi from 2024 validate consolidation benefit and resilience cost savings through UK's case studies, while Jekta Goda from 2024 provide empirical evidence from Ukraine and Poland, showing how data-driven intermodal freight optimizations can support sustainable transport development.
I will be presenting a detailed critique of the article evaluating the sustainability and resilience of an intermodal transport network leveraging consolidation strategies. And this study provides valuable insight into the role of consolidation and preparedness in enhancing both sustainability and resilience of intermodal transport networks. However, there are notable limitations in terms of scalability, underlying consumption, policy implication, and the treatment of social metrics. In this presentation, I will walk through each of these key disagreements in detail. So for the first critique concerns the scalability of results. The study is based on a UK case which benefit from advanced infrastructure, consistent regulation, and well-developed intermodal systems. However, in developing countries, realities differ greatly. Poor infrastructure, fragmented governance, and reliance on informal logistic providers can make consolidation and resilience strategies harder to implement. Cost structures also vary widely due to fluctuating fuel and labor expenses. Therefore, while the results are promising in the UK, comparative studies are needed to verify whether these strategies can work effectively in other settings, particularly in developing countries. And the second limitation lies in the underlying assumption of the model. The framework relies heavily on stochastic inputs such as disruption probabilities, expected recovery times, and cost structures. This assumption drive the model's performance. If disruption probabilities are underestimated, resilience investment will be too low, leaving networks vulnerable. On the other hand, if costs are miscalculated, the cost-benefit analysis become unreliable. This means that the results such as the reported 4.7% reduction in overall cost are highly sensitive to assumption accuracy. A stronger approach would involve comprehensive sensitivity analysis and scenario testing to ensure the robustness of the outcomes across different real-world conditions. The third critic concerns the policy context. While the article acknowledges the policy intervention can support resilience, it does not deeply explore the regulatory and institutional barriers that exist in practice. For example, regulatory delays in obtaining approvals for consolidation centers, resistance from local communities due to land use concerns, and financial barriers for small and medium enterprises are very real obstacles. Furthermore, fragmented institutional responsibilities across government agencies often complicate logistic planning. Without considering these barriers, the study's recommendation could be seen as overly idealistic and difficult to implement in real-world contexts. The fourth area of critique involves the treatment of social metrics. The article does
incorporate environmental and social factors such as emissions, congestion, and noise, which is commendable. However, the transparency of the methodology is limited. For example, it is unclear how emissions are calculated, how noise is monetized, or how congestion is converted into measurable cost. Additionally, the relative weighting of these social metrics compared to economic ones is not clearly explained. Without transparency, there is a risk that social benefits are undervalued, leading to decisions that favor financial outcomes while underrepresenting social and environmental priorities. To summarize, this article makes important contribution but has notable limitations. Scalability remains a challenge since results from the UK may not be applicable in other contexts. The heavy reliance on assumption raises questions about robustness and stronger sensitivity and scenario testing is required. The policy context also needs deeper exploration as real-world barriers cannot be ignored. Lastly, greater transparency in social metrics is crucial to balance economic and environmental consideration. Future research should aim to address these gaps to strengthen the practical applicability of the findings.
I'm Chong Jiaxuan. Now I will talk about the recommendations for the parties involved in international transports. The first recommendation is to encourage public-private partnerships. The article highlights that while resilience and sustainability investment brings high returns, the initial cost may discourage private firms from acting alone. By forming partnerships between governments, logistic providers, and port authorities, financial risk can be shared. Infrastructure projects can be completed faster, and consolidations hub can be operated more effectively. These collaborations ensure that the benefits of sustainability and resilience are shared across the entire transport systems. Next, the second recommendation is to develop incentive-based policies. Although the study shows consolidations and resilience strategies can provide very large savings, companies may hesitate without regulatory support. Governments can introduce tax incentives, subsidies, or carbon credits to encourage adoption of green and resilient transport practices. By aligning economic benefits with sustainability goals, this policy make it more attractive for companies to invest in long-term improvements. The third recommendation is to standardize data sharing and digital platforms. The article emphasized the importance of optimizations and data-driven tools, but this requires accurate and accessible data across all stakeholders. By adopting common digital standards, carriers, ports, and logistic providers can share real-time information about the disruptions, demands, and capacity. This transparency not only improves decision making but also builds trust and cooperations within international transport networks. Now, moving to the future potential research, the first area can be the cross-regional and global validations. Since the article applied its model to the UK transport system, future research should test it in other regions, particularly in developing economies. This would help to examine how infrastructures, policies, and risk conditions affect the results and ensure the model is adaptable across different contexts. Next, the second research can be the expanding sustainability metrics. The current model considers the emissions, noise, congestions, and accidents. Future studies could include broader indicators such as community health, equity in transport access, and long-term ecological effects. This would provide a more holistic view of sustainability in international transport and support more socially responsible planning.
In conclusion, the article demonstrates that small target investment in preparedness and resilience can deliver the disproportionate cost saving and sustainability benefits in intermodal transport by applying a two-stage stochastic optimization model to real UK data. It provides both theoretical insight and practical guidance. Overall, the study offers a roadmap for building sustainable and resilient transport system while leaving room for further exploration. And that's all from our team. Thank you for your listening.